A yearly tradition on the channel is I like to go back and celebrate the year by making a Grand Cross rewind where we celebrate all the new characters, the hype moments, and of course showcase other fellow YouTubers. However, as you may have noticed, I in fact did not make one for 2024, so I kind of want to talk about it because we did get some comments on the channel, and one, I'm grateful that people even realized or came to the channel every year, remembered it. It's something that makes me want to do more of them. And I will say before we get into why I didn't make the one for last year, at the moment, I'm planning to make one for this year. I know we still have another like 9 months before we do actually get towards the end of the year. But so far, this year's been really good. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the characters released here. A new King, a new Didnt. We've gotten Chaos Arthur. His trailer was hype. We've got LR Zeldris with obviously Gelder as well. And this year should be hype in terms of characters, especially going towards 4 Lance Apocalypse. I cannot wait. Once again, you've heard me say it on my channel so many times now, but like, I generally cannot wait for 4 Lance Apocalypse to come to the game, which is why I kind of came back to Grand Cross as soon as Arthur came out, because now it's the time for them to come. We may have been cooked here, by the way. I just realized I got double stun. Why, Merlin? The one time I find her to get a double stun. But yeah, let me talk about why I didn't make it. So there was like 3 main points why I didn't. One, I was kind of busy towards the end of the year leading into January because I was actually going to Japan. I've already visited Japan for like 10 days. Insane, you got to do it. Second point was I was also kind of busy preparing and also making the intro for my brother's actual BBS award show, which that actually makes me money, so you know. But I think the main reason why I didn't want to do it was because it wasn't fun. Once again, these videos I do obviously at my own time, especially towards like the last 2. It took me like a month to 3 to 4 5 weeks ish to make them. You know, they did take a lot of time, so obviously I have to have fun making them. And well, last year it was probably the worst year for Grand Cross. Not in terms of like sales or anything like that, just in terms of characters, right? We are headed towards the end of this series, which they still haven't finished yet. But the characters they chose to release were, I think, kind of bad. So we're going to go through it, more like a yearly recap for Grand Cross for last year, because we're not going to count Bugmelly because he was December. Starting off, not starting strong. We got Iron Blood Mono, whatever. Then we got Freya, which to be fair, I predicted. If you watched my video, I said she was coming because I realized he changed her animations. And cool, that was hype, right? But the problem with her, she was a PvP character turned to PvE. So if you skipped them, that was kind of a massive L. New Wings Jelly King. I mean, unless you're Sora or Amazing and the boys in the podcast, you would say he's like a really good character, but generally, you know, not too crazy. Mayo, I think, was long overdue. He was a character, if you watch my prediction video, I said Mayo was 100% coming February because he's already in story mode. Like, he was already shown, half of his animations are already shown. Obviously they did trying to change it when he came out, but like the character is very boring. I'm not a big fan of Mael. I think his design was not really that good too. Followed by Luduciel, which, I mean, once again, this time period from last year to this year, look at the difference. We got Chaos Arthur, who brought the human teams back, and also Gelder with LR Zeldris, where last year we got Mael and Green Luduciel, who didn't really need to come out because we already had Margaret, who's a DCL, so he didn't even work in the same team. A massive waste there. Then Miguel, the Roxy, to be fair, was kind of cool. The blue one, we did get the new chapter 1 of the actual Catastrophe storyline, which is yet to return. No voice acting, it was not great. Then we got obviously Goddess Elizabeth, oh my days, who was, I just still don't know what she does. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. If they're planning to release LR Goddess Elizabeth like a few months later, why did he even bother making her? Then we got the actual Meshuggah Tensei collaboration, which I, to be fair, really liked. If you haven't seen my reaction towards Ghislaine, I'll play it now. It's kind of funny. Yeah, okay, fair enough, she did that in the series. No, it's good. No! Whoa, she actually did it. They actually did it. No way. But yeah, that would have been good to put in the rewind. But yeah, I was kind of excited for it because I actually like those characters. I actually like how they play. Ghislaine was really, really fun to play. Really, really good too. Also, well, so was Roxy. But like, if you weren't like wailing on them, or like you used the unknown team, which wasn't the top tier team at the time, everyone thought these were mids, and I guess they kind of were, right? But like, they are actually very usable, especially Roxy and Ghislaine. They were actually really, really good. Like Roxy shield against Mael kind of counted him a lot. At least an ungood. Camilla was a joke. Then we got a Maeve collab. Like, what? Which apparently she's now left the crypto band. How is an AI artist left their own band? Transcendence Barn was a failure. Who had to get buffed. Who's now actually pretty good, but wasn't at the time. Tristan was nice to see, I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the first new characters, and I think one of the only new characters throughout that year that we got that was actually like a new face. I think it might have been him and only Demon King from memory. But yeah, actually go down once again. We don't have all the characters here, but we got Demon King, who I think was definitely broken, but spawn one of the worst methods of like going second, which I did not like, with the evade food and just like if you don't kill him in 2 turns, you just lost. It weren't great. The AOT collaboration came out, and that was kind of a flop. To be fair, you saw me using Aaron, who's like kind of decent now, but like. And so is Levi, actually, apparently. But, like, ugh, yeah, they did not cook with those, right? People were complaining about them. They had to get buffed as well, which is insane. And then we got Hell, our first Ragnarok festival. That was kind of another failure a little bit. Not in terms of power, just it wasn't hype, right? People were kind of disappointed. Once again, you can argue in the comments about it, but generally, people weren't that excited for it. There were people that were excited. I mean, I was kind of excited for it, right? But when we have so many festival characters worthy in 7 seasons that are still not in the game, like, this could have easily been the new Gopher we just got now, and that actually would have been kind of hype. And yeah, we got the actual Overlord collaboration, which is actually pretty good, not gonna lie. Obviously, we saw how much broken Alberta was, which is kind of funny, right? Because every character's come out nowadays, especially like the new Melly, the Elizabeth, everyone's just passively getting an actual counter stance through the passive. And then, yeah, it's not on the list here, but we got Goddess Elizabeth and then obviously Melly, which is quite high. But Goddess Elizabeth weren't too hype because people were kind of disappointed we didn't get Arthur. But yeah, just kind of wrap it up there a little bit. Just once again, I think for me personally, I didn't really care too much about the characters. A lot in here. Like, if you think about it, for me personally, or even if you were generally just a player, there weren't that many stuff to summon for like the first 5 months of the year. Like, Mayo could have been a skip. Freya, the Meshuggah Tensei collaboration could have been a skip as well. Transcendence Barn, when he first came out for like the first week, wasn't even that good. So he was arguably a skip until he got buffed, of course. So if I did make my rewind video, and bear in mind, the way the rewinds work, the way I do them, although it is to celebrate the characters and showcase them a little bit, I do that through the other YouTubers. And if people are not excited, if the other YouTubers and the other boys in the Grand Cross community aren't excited for them, right, then it's not going to be hype for a video, right? Like, once again, I think Hell is kind of an example here too, is that like people didn't care too much about her. So like if you're summoning for her, you're not really like shouting, screaming, get hyped that you summoned her like how you would for like a new Escanor or a new Melly. So yeah, in terms of making a rerun, I feel like I couldn't really do a good job of doing it because most of the YouTubers would just be like, oh hey, we just got a new Hell. You know, we're more complaining than actual hype moments, right? But yeah, like I said, this year is off to a good start, and I'm looking forward to making one for the end of the year. We already got some pretty cool characters of a new king. Tower of God came out of nowhere, the massive leak that happened. Although I don't really like Tower of God too much, people like the characters, so that'll be good to showcase. Then we got Arthur, and like his trailer and the way they handled him was really cool. And Gelder was fun, and even right now with Gopher, who people aren't really excited for too much because the character is not like top tier broken, and also he's right after Chaos Arthur, right before collaboration, right before the JP anniversary. So it's kind of been a tough spot, and it's kind of been, his release has kind of been overshadowed by, you know, the drama that comes with that. But in terms of seeing a new character in game, the Gopher looks really fun, looks really cool. I don't mind it. So boys, that's going to wrap up the video. Once again, just kind of want to sit down and talk today about, you know, more or less a yearly recap. You know, was last year Grand Cross actually that good? And I want to look back at the characters. Like I said, I feel like they just kind of flopped a little bit with character releases, like getting a Miguelda, getting a Luciel, getting a Goddess Elizabeth, getting a Matrona, getting a actor Excalibur Arthur, like really boring characters, no cool characters other than like Tristan, for example, right? With this year, we already got Chaos Arthur, we already got, you know, Gelder, and once again, I'm hoping this year, surely we're going to be getting Fortnite's Apocalypse. I'm still predicting July, and man, once that comes to the game, I'm going to be so happy. So I can't wait to cover it. So boys, if you're excited for Fortnite's 2 and you're excited for this year on Grand Cross, then of course leave it a like. And boys, thanks for watching this video, and yeah, peace.